How to spot a fake rich person. 10 clues. Money serves as a metric of success for many, particularly those who have the least amount of it. It's become an unfortunate reality that poor individuals are pressured to demonstrate their wealth, even if they don't possess much. Conversely, wealthy people tend to understand and display the value in keeping quiet about money matters. Confidence is more distinctive meaner than monetary worth on its own. Hence, while some strive toward ostentatious displays related to finances, true power lies within recognizing how valuable one's financial potential can be, without outwardly confirming it through status symbols or bragging rights.
Congolese author mwan, denke, kindembo fittingly described the poverty mindset when he said some people want to be gods, while they're still struggling to be human beings.
10. They won't stop bragging about money. If someone is constantly bragging about money, be assured they are harboring a deep-seated insecurity that has been bubbling beneath the surface. The person will often try and overcompensate for their perception of having very little money by flaunting their finances and making impulsive decisions to display riches to their peers. This type of self-aggrandizement is often an indicator of desperation to keep up with the Joneses or claw at any sense of importance in a group, where wealth is held in particularly high esteem. Oftentimes, this financial boasting is a delusional fantasy used as a coping mechanism to mask the fear of poverty from those around them, and ultimately themselves.
9. They overdress to impress. Although it may appear that wealthy people always dress to impress, the truth is that their clothing choices are about much more than manipulating perceptions of their success. In fact, those with tangible wealth often cultivate a sophisticated and restrained image in order to communicate discernment and respect. Furthermore, those who demonstrate the ability to sporadically but thoughtfully purchase quality items over time will have grown a wardrobe of which tends to be timeless pieces that have significant emotional value that cannot be overlooked. Thus, understanding what lies beneath the exterior layers becomes paramount as it helps build a more comprehensive understanding of someone's wealth background and overall financial health.
8. They spend too much time on social media. Social media can be a great way to keep in touch with friends, family, and share interesting experiences, but spending too much time on it is counterproductive. A survey released by Nasdaq reveals that wealthy individuals spend very little time on social media. 174% of them rarely have the time or inclination to even log in. These people are too busy investing their money in real-world projects, instead of being absorbed into an unwarranted digital world. It's best to use social media moderately to maximize its many benefits, while avoiding pitfalls, such as roadblocks to personal goals, poor mental health, or damaging effects on relationships. 7. They feel the need to buy fake items. It has become exceedingly apparent that so many of us feel the need to buy fake items in an attempt to appear wealthy. We live in a world where status is everything, and unfortunately, this misguided notion leads people towards obtaining counterfeit products as a way to boost their social standing. It is indeed true that we were taught not to judge a book by its cover. Yet when faced with this material world, it appears our values have changed. Poor people will often purchase fakes as a desperate effort towards inflate their sense of self-worth and be perceived somewhat acknowledged by others. This issue needs to be addressed more widely if we are ever going to break this cycle of overconsumption and reckless spending. Only then can long-term economic advancement become reality for these unfortunate individuals.
6. They overcompensate.
It is a desperate attempt when someone tries to fake being wealthy by overcompensating for every aspect of their life. Most often than not, they will boast and exaggerate the successes they have had to make it seem as though they are much wealthier than they are, while also attempting to put themselves on a pedestal above their peers. On the flip side, they will try to downgrade the accomplishments that others have made in order to demean them and appear more successful than them. This is all done out of fear and desperation in an attempt to blur the lines between what is reality and what is imagined. It's essential to be informed about these tactics, for oftentimes people can be taken advantage of or manipulated if caught unaware. 5. They splurge impulsively. Impulsive spending can be evidenced by the way certain people run wild and spend recklessly with their newly acquired funds, disregarding their sense of reason. While it might be that anyone can be guilty of this behavior, whether they are rich or poor, those who possess great wealth have ingrained themselves in an ascribed materialistic lifestyle, knowing that to resist indulgence is almost impossible due to their financial situation.
Thus, when trying to determine if a person is faking to be wealthy or not, observe how they act when money is available, whether they remain disciplined and in control despite the alluring prospects, or if they quickly fail into a frantic state of splurging without care for consequence.
4. They rent, but don't own anything ever had that friend. Owning something is an essential part of sustainable financial security, but for some people, renting may be all they can afford. Often a sign of poverty in disguise, those who rent but never seem to own any property or assets may be projecting a false image of wealth and prosperity. Making do with expensive rentals instead of taking the plunge and investing in something that could last a lifetime is the desperado's way of attempting to keep up appearances. Try as they might, this strategy cannot mask their true financial standing forever. Eventually, it'll become clear that these facaders are running on empty. 3. They love flaunting on social media.
It's an insidious phenomenon, seen all too often in the age of digital media. Poor people desperately attempting to portray themselves as rich on social media. Flaunting on social media has almost become a marker of status among certain communities. Those who aren't wealthy must prove their worth by convincing their followers that they are richer than they actually are. While it may seem innocuous at first, this pattern of behavior can lead to dangerous consequences. It perpetuates a false sense of wealth, creating further economic divides between those who have and those who have, and those who have not, and instilling in the less fortunate a feeling of inadequacy. This unhealthy cycle not only has a negative effect on individuals' mental health, but also impacts our society as a whole. It is thus essential that we recognize how dangerous flaunting on social media can be, and take steps to counteract its unsustainable cycle of inequality. 2. They prefer quantity.
Despite the notion that those with a certain level of wealth exclusively opt for quality over quantity, there is evidence to suggest that many members of the wealthy community have an appreciation for high-grade items that will not only last longer and be worth far more in the long run. In contrast to less affluent shoppers who are often guilty of buying products with utility as the primary focus rather than investing in one luxury item that may carry a higher price tag but won't deteriorate over a short period of time. This suggests that those without true wealth can give off appearances of riches, but they likely won't reproduce the same level of sophistication in shopping habits as those accustomed to immense wealth and luxury. 1. They aren't open to education and growth. It is unfortunately true that many individuals living in poverty are so desperate to enter the world of the rich that they seek out material goods rather than investing their time and effort into education. This is an incredibly misguided way of thinking, as it fails to understand that real value lies in knowledge and intellectual growth, not in wealth.
Education provides a stable foundation for future success, which often eludes those who only strive for material gains without furthering their knowledge and understanding of the world. For this reason, it is imperative for those experiencing financial hardship to focus on enriching themselves with books and other learning materials, not clothes or luxury items. As the old adage goes, knowledge is power, and nothing else can open doors quite like a strong educational background. But wait, there's more. To thank you for sticking with us until the end of this video, and because we like saying, thank you here is a bonus. They fail to budget.
Finally, a tried and true sign of poverty is an inability to create and stick to a budget. Those with little or no money understand that their income needs to be tightly managed in order for them to survive until the next paycheck arrives. This knowledge often eludes those who have never known true hardship and therefore lack the necessary skills needed to budget effectively.
As a result, those without wealth can sometimes flaunt on social media or buy expensive items in an attempt to appear wealthy, even though they could be spending their money more wisely and saving for the future. In short, if you want to spot a poor person attempting to pass as rich, look no further than their budgeting habits. And remember, no matter what situation you may currently find yourself in, there is always a way to improve and gain control of your financial future.
So long as you are willing to learn and work hard, anything can be achieved. Hey, we're so glad you took the time out of your busy day to watch today's video. If it resonated with any part or all, don't forget to subscribe. If this was something worth watching, we'll see you soon.